Shit Dad Podcast.
Celebrating the mistakes that all parents make. You're listening to the Shit Dad Podcast.
Welcome back, boys and girls. We're here at the Shit Dad Podcast where we're going to turn you from lad to quintessential Aussie dad, talking about our fatherhood experiences. I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
I'm Cam.
And thanks again for taking your time out of a busy schedule to listen to us about our experiences and for some of you sharing your own. Before we get started on our topic this week, kids and pets, I want to talk to you about a story very, very quickly. And it was a story about a young little dog and its little sister and having the whole fucking episode changed because people couldn't handle someone standing on a fucking set of scales.
The cancel culture at its finest.
Anyway, boys, thoughts?
Ludicrous.
I assume you're talking about Bluey.
Yes, I am talking about Bluey. I had to jump straight into it. I couldn't hold on to it anymore.
Yeah.
Just could not believe it.
I saw you were bursting at the seams when you walked in tonight.
I deliberately last night went back to watch it now that it's been edited.
Yeah.
And just goes, boom, start straight at exercise. And I'm like, what have they done?
Loses
Not
the
a fan.
context of the motivation.
Of course it
Yeah.
does. Of course it does.
I think it's hard because this is a show that it's not just a kids show. So I'm sure that Peppa Pig has all this bullshit happening that people would actually blow up about if they watched it. But parents don't watch it.
Yeah, true.
But because parents watch Bluey as much as the kids
Yeah.
do, they're really scrutinising every episode.
Yeah.
But do you guys...
But should they be?
Probably not. It's a kids show.
Do you also see an issue with what they cut out?
I liked
No.
it. I think we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
where
I
it
thought
was
we did
because
too.
it was like so relatable. I'm like, oh my God. My wife and I looked at each other, we're like laughing. We're like, oh my God, that's us.
Yeah.
We had a former guest of ours, Dr. Kyla. She was on the opposite end of the spectrum. She was the one, I think,
Yeah.
almost like petitioning to get it
Yeah.
changed. And she
Yeah.
was really happy that it was changed.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, coming from her profession being,
Yeah.
Coming from the childhood obesity part.
yeah.
Confidence in
Dietitian.
kids and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So, yeah, she's probably seen that end of the scale. But yeah, from a relatability point of view for an actual dad.
And Joe Public,
Yes.
who are dads. I feel like it is a good reminder for us. Like, dads are all the dads that are watching that go, yeah, probably should go for it. Go do
Definitely.
some sit-ups or go to the gym or something.
Just
But
makes
yeah.
it look so easy too. Just get the kids involved. And, okay,
Yeah.
don't go to that extreme of making it a whole workplace. and
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
fun farm. But I think,
just to get healthier.
I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
I do see the argument for, like Cam said, but there's a time and a place to bring up those sort of like that agenda, that childhood obesity agenda and weight, fat shaming and all that sort of stuff. But I feel like if you've got an issue with that, it's your issue. Like, you should probably sort out your issues before you start scrutinising a kids' TV show.
That's right.
That's the point.
Yeah.
It's a kids' TV show.
Yeah, 100%.
And now everything is, like you said, being scrutinised. And it's just, why can't kids just watch a kids' TV show and just go, that's funny, that's a little talking dog and her little sister.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I guarantee you, an episode of Peppa Pig, the big fat dad who's clumsy,
Yeah.
and he's probably like the epitome of how dads don't want to be represented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fumbling around, always lying on the couch. I guarantee you he does that shit all the time
Yeah.
and no one ever remembers it.
Because no one watches Peppa Pig. But the funny thing is, Dave, I've got a little story as well about your daughter's brutal honesty. Speaking of fat shaming, Cam, we went to our daughters do a little outdoor activities thing,
Little sports program.
Yeah, a little sports program on Mondays, and I take my daughter because because I've got days off, and Dave's wife Trace takes Isla because she does days off on Mondays. But we also talk a little bit about what's going on, and today I wasn't wearing a jumper and it was blistering cold, and Dave's Isla came up to me and goes, "Why aren't you wearing a jumper?" And I was like, I'm okay. I'm not, like, it's cold, but I'm not like freezing. And then she goes, "Daddy doesn't need to wear a jumper either. He's got extra layers." Fully out of nowhere. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know if I should laugh or not, so I've turned to Trace and burst.
It was, yeah. So I got pre-warned about this one.
Yeah.
It was to talk to you about it. And then it kind of clicked. I think it was a couple of days ago. She's getting through a stage like, I don't want to wear my jumper. When it's clearly cold.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I put on a jumper, I put little sister in a jumper. I'm like, no. She goes, I don't want to wear it. Why do I have to wear it? You're not wearing one. And I said, look, sweetie, when I became a daddy, when you were born, I just got this little bit of extra special stuff that I no longer, I don't feel the cold as much as you do. And she took that as, you got extra
You're
layers.
fat. Yeah.
So
But we've got to be careful talking about this because the cancel culture might get us too. Like,
that is true. Yeah, be careful.
Our minute crowd
Don't ever
of
look at your
listeners.
belly.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
You are beautiful the way that you are.
Dave, stop talking to your daughter about things. Just pass all questions on to the
Mum.
wife. Yep. Go ask your mother. Go ask your mother.
Good.
Yeah. Cam, I see you got some stuff there.
Yes.
What you got, mate?
For all our listeners, last week we spoke about Mother's Day coming up. Hopefully you've had your shit together and you've organised something. If you haven't, we're lucky enough the fact that this episode is brought to you by Bad on Paper.
Ooh.
So
Please
this
dive
is
in.
a friend of mine, a couple of friends. They've started this company. It's rude, crude, delightfully offensive greeting cards just in time for Mother's Day. They've got a few different ones here. They've said, "Hey shit dads, enjoy." And your support means the fucking world to us on their sign. So there's a bunch of different card options. They've got, obviously, not just for Mother's Day, but the Mother's Day ones got mum.
Cool.
Yep.
And inside it says, "Now that I have your attention, how long does it take to boil an egg?" This one says, "Thanks for still being my emergency contact, even though I'm in my 30s.
Accurate.
That's
What-
good.
You know what rhymes with mum? Wine.
Good.
And I see...
Not accurate at all.
No.
I see spending my inheritance is going well."
That's good.
So there's a couple of extras they've thrown in here. This one's good.
You're
Just
fucked.
says you're fucked. But I think
Why is there not 3? I mean, there needed to be 3 for us.
this is probably the best. It says, "It's 3 a.m. You're stumbling through the door. You said you wouldn't, but your tits are out for the 3rd time tonight. There's vomit in your hair and someone is groping you in the dark. Inside it says, welcome to motherhood." So if anyone's interested, some really great cards. What they do is almost these like packs and these dad packs. So you can buy a whole bunch for all of the occasions for the year. So you never have to worry about having a card and never forgetting. So
That's a cracking idea.
it's good, great idea. Very funny cards, all sorts, as I mentioned, at Bad on Paper or badonpaper.com.au.
That's unreal. That is unreal.
So you guys can, we'll share them after the
Sounds
episode.
I look forward to it. Boys, one last thing before we jump into our joke of the week. Cam, right up your alley, sportsman.
Oh, sports.
How good was the 8 games of football played at Suncorp, mate?
I watched all of them.
Yep, I knew you would.
Yeah.
I knew you
Did
would.
you actually?
No.
I was so surprised. I was like, what? You must have been so fucking bored this weekend.
I reckon
Or
Cam.
bedridden sick.
No, I watched the Dolphins game.
Good,
Yeah?
good.
Oh,
My daughter was very confused that a shark was being beaten by a dolphin. But no, that was great. No, I would have liked to have gone to Magic Round. Just
Yeah.
fell at a tough time. But love Magic Round, and all the Queensland teams got up.
Epic.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How good's that?
I was on the blower to Dave most of last night with during the Titans game
Oh yeah.
because I had them as the tail end of my multi. So thanks, Titans, and
Yeah.
thanks, Dave.
You're welcome.
What are your thoughts on creating a bit of a atmosphere for the rest of the season and just doing a 3-leg multi every week on how our teams are going to go? Obviously, I support Brisbane, Dave supports Gold Coast, and Cam supports Reddy.
The Reddy shit.
The Reddy shit, Redcliffe. So
Fins up.
fins up for Cam. But what about if we just at the start of every week we say how they're going to get on the weekend?
I'm
Yep.
keen.
All right. I've
Sounds
brought,
good.
just in case you said yes, I've brought a bit of an intro for it. So obviously on a Monday night when we record, it's hard to predict what's going to happen on the weekend. We haven't seen the team lists, which come out Tuesdays most of the time.
Yeah, I always look at
And,
them.
Yeah, well, Cam's all over the team list, obviously.
So many ins and outs of Dolphins. Yeah.
And he knows all the players too, I've heard.
That groundsman is a good player. Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's old, mate. And we don't know the wash up from the weekend. We don't know who's injured, who's playing, who's not playing. So,
Yep.
with that in mind, the Broncos against Storm in Melbourne on Thursday night. Storm are favourites to win. I don't have the odds because we're not sponsored by any betting agencies, and we all bet responsibly, obviously. So Storm are about $1.85 and Brisbane are about $2-ish. So I am sticking with the boys from Brisbane, and I think it is going to be a Brisbane win with a margin of 1-12.
Shall we not just put it on our teams every week?
Yeah, I guess
Or
so.
do you bet with your head?
I bet with head.
Okay, yeah, I support the Broncos to win. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What
Agreed.
about you, Dave? We've got on Sunday afternoon, the Gold Coast are making the trip down to a probably rainy. I guess I suggest that the Knights down in Newcastle play in the rain because it's a shithole.
Yep.
Obviously, everywhere's a shithole except Brisbane.
That is
So
true.
that's the Sunday arvo. Knights
Yeah.
against Gold Coast Titans. What do you think, Dave?
Gold Coast to win with a margin of 1-12.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Two small wins. And sorry, Cam, but this week you obviously knew that the Dolphins have a bye.
Oh, yeah, I definitely knew that.
So Dolphins are getting those 2 points. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
2 points for the Dolphs. All right, sweet.
Oh.
So we'll put that $10 multi on and see if we can make a bit of bank this year.
Sounds good.
I
How
don't like
good.
our chances, but we'll do it.
Yeah, no, I don't like one. Yep. Titans haven't scored past 26 points in the last 3 rounds. They've won, but they haven't scored past 26 points.
This is the week.
Yep. I hope so. It's against the Knights. Anyway, boys, I heard about this guy taking his sick chihuahua to the vet. They were immediately taken back into a room. Soon, a Labrador walks in, sniffs the chihuahua for 10 minutes and then leaves. Then a cat comes in, stares at the chihuahua for 10 minutes and leaves. Finally, the vet comes in, prescribes some medication, and then hands the man a bill for $250. This must be a mistake, the man says. I've only been here for 20 minutes. No mistake, mate, the vet says. It's $100 for the lab test, $100 for the CAT scan, and $50 for the medicine. Anyway, thought I'd keep it animal themed as we went in, and boys had a chat about our topic with kids and pets.
Yeah.
I mean, we all, I don't know about you, I think we all probably grew up with some pets, you know, along the way. And
Begrudgingly from my parents.
yeah, I think probably a lot of parents are listening to this at the moment.
Yeah.
Because what's my almost 4-year-old one at the moment? It's changed. It was a fish to a sheep
Nice.
to a goat.
Yeah, cool. I heard they're good at milking.
Yeah, goats, yep. And also I wouldn't have to mow my grass.
Yeah,
It'd actually be really good.
So that'd actually be useful,
Yeah.
apart from every other pet.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
mowing the lawn's the best thing about the weekend. What are you talking about?
The cold ones after them. And then to a turtle.
Ah.
Yep.
Which live for as long
Yeah.
as a human.
Exactly. Yep. And her attention span's about as much as a goldfish. So hopefully she'll go back to a goldfish soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, while we're talking about that, what are your experiences, boys, growing up with pets? How'd you go?
We had lap dogs, I guess you could call them, growing
Yep.
up. Didn't have a massive house or yard or anything, so definitely had some smaller dogs.
Yep.
We started off with a cat,
Mm-hmm.
and then as we were growing up, my parents realised that it was the most antisocial cat, hated people, or all it wanted would do would scratch us, basically. And it was so aggressive it would chase the dog around the house. We had a toy poodle, which is, remember Jessie, Nick?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then we moved on to Cavalier Spaniel.
Yep.
So definitely
He was
more
my
of a dog
favourite.
house.
Yep.
When we had just the poodle and the cat ran away and none of us cared. We were like, oh, it's just gone.
Oh,
okay.
nuts.
Yep.
We just didn't bat an eyelid. So
I guess we don't have to buy cat food this week.
so that showed how close we were to the cat. But yeah, definitely grew up with lap dogs, which I just loved, and I think is a reason why now, even though I've got a bigger dog, he can come sit on my lap.
We've seen that. He does come. He does come. He thinks he's a lapdog. Yeah.
But I think growing up with pets was a privilege because a lot of people can't do it.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky to have dogs around the house. Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome. Benz, what about you, mate?
Oh, contrary to Cam, I grew up with a yap dog, not a lap dog.
Yep.
We had a little Jack Russell, and that fucking thing never shut up. It was crazy.
Pretty sure I used to hear it when I was
Oh,
at my
mate.
auntie's place next
would
door.
not be surprised.
Yeah.
It was a
What
prick
was
of
his
a
name
thing.
again?
Harley,
Oh, yeah.
absolute prick of a thing. Like, I loved him.
Yeah.
He was my favourite thing ever. He was my first dog, and he he loved me and my sister to bits. So it doesn't matter how much he yapped or how much he nipped everyone else. He would like be the coolest dog for me and Emma. But yeah, I think like Cam said, it's a bit of a privilege. And if you grow up with the dog, so if you get them when you're sort of at an age where you can appreciate it and look after it, I think is way more valuable, because if you get it when you're like 4 or 5, you're like, oh, there's a dog around, I'm going to pull its ears and stick my finger up its bum and just all that sort of shit. Maybe not the bum thing, but well, maybe. But yeah, you don't sort of appreciate having a dog as much because you can't look after it and you can't,
There's sense of attachment.
Yeah.
I think you know, like it's, this is my dog, but
yeah, if you're like a toddler and you grow up with it, it's just there. But if you get it when you're like 10, 12, then you like, and you have to look after it, you can appreciate it.
Oh, so you're okay. See,
we
I
got
thought
him when I was like 12, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our second dog we got when I was 10, 11, 12 or so, and it was on the proviso that I would walk it every day, which I was actually one of those kids that did.
Yeah.
So it was good because it got me out of the house in the afternoons, wandering around and walking the dog. And that was our special bond, and why he liked me the best.
Yeah, nice.
So that's good. See, I would think if toddler age or that younger, you know, maybe even 3, 4, get a pet, and then it grows with them. You know what I mean? I thought that might be a bit of a bond too. Like I never had that. We had 2 dogs growing up. A cat, I don't remember it. It became a flat cat. On one day, reversing out.
Definitely not feline fine.
Got it? Nope, definitely not. But I had 2. Yeah, I had a mini Foxy, who was super territorial of us, and then a cattle dog. Same thing. No one could go out the backyard unless it was with one of us.
Yeah, nice.
So nothing. So really, really good. But again, too, like just totally different. Like go home and, you know, especially when you become that teenager and you're like, what a shit day. You go outside and you play with the dog. Yeah, whatever it is. Or like have that lap dog, and the mini Foxy would just come sit next to you on the couch.
Just have a little cuddle.
Yeah, and that's it. It made you feel better. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Which is probably a big reason why now I have 2. 2 medium size, a border collie and a cattle cross. Hence why I don't care about what my backyard looks like.
Yeah.
Because there's like running tracks in it.
Yeah.
But again, like I've only got one at home at the moment. The other one's with the oldies, just because they started to fight, and I think it's at that age where the dominance is trying to change. So just for the safety of the kids, that's where we kind of went. So, but parents are like 5 minutes away. I've heard that when I leave, going to see the oldies, the other dog howls for about half an hour, just like missing us. So they remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you guys? Obviously, Cam, you got the dog now.
Yes. So we had our doggo a couple of years before we had kids, which was nice because he got walked.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was shown a bit of affection from my wife. Now, the kids are finally at an age where, you know, coming up to kind of 5 and 3, where they're starting to enjoy him more, and he's starting to give a bit more back to him.
Yeah.
I think when they're very young, obviously, depending on the breed and the dog, the kids have no idea what's going on. They don't really give a shit. I think Labradors and Golden Retrievers, I think, are quite different.
Yeah.
They're a bit more affectionate. I think even cats can be quite good sitting next to babies or sitting on top of them.
On their face.
Yeah. But I'm enjoying it now, seeing the kids engage with him, want to feed him.
Yep.
Even now, I asked if we're walking him to hold the lead, things like that.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
finally, as he's getting older and slowing down a bit and they're speeding up, they can kind of have a bit more of an engagement. Yeah.
It's good. What about you, Ben?
We got a bit unlucky with ours because when we had the kids, because she's a Maltese poodle. Obviously, we got her because they don't shed hair, and anyway, we got unlucky because when we had the first, she was awesome. But she sort of knew straight away she wasn't getting the same attention as the baby. Wasn't getting as much attention as she was like a week ago, and then she wasn't getting as many walks, but we tried to change that, which I'll get into a bit. But so she was really good while we had the first kid, Mr. 8 now, and we walked her almost every day because we made an effort to get out in the pram. Mrs. was on maternity leave, and I have 4 days off, well, six days off a week. So we walked every day with the pram and the baby and the dog. Worked really well. We had the second kid. and she just lost all sort of affection because the minute she'd come and sit down next to me or come and sit on my lap or the missus's lap, it was like time to feed the baby. And obviously when it was time to feed the baby, I had to look after the other one because he was still only 18 months and she sort of got brushed aside. So yeah, there's a lot of different experiences. We obviously didn't get through the phase of like starting to enjoy because they're a bit older, because she just didn't want to be around. She was super depressed, and we got her to go live with the in-laws, and she just thrives there. She loves it. She's got 2 other dogs there to socialise with, and they have beers all the time. It's great. And when we go over, they still like jump and up and down on us. She loves us. And then she's like, I think to her, we are the newborn baby. So she can get a bit clucky when we're around, but she's happy to give us back at the end of the day. So we fuck off, and she's happy. She's happy
She's
again.
back in the element again.
Yeah. But yeah, she's a good pup, and I really miss her. And but obviously, when you have kids, you can't get rid of the kids instead of the dog. So, sometimes you want to.
we've all thought it.
But there's also the factor of how much they cost, and like the costs associated when they get sick. So she had needed a knee reconstruction or something, or hip replacement, and we couldn't afford that. So she actually came home when our second born was 4, I think, no 3. Anyway, she came home for a bit. She needed that, and we were like, we can't afford this. Dead set. What are we going to do? And the in-laws took her back. They sorted the money side of things. Obviously, you get a bit back from pet plan. Pet insurer.
Yeah.
And so they just had the money up front to be able to do that before they got the money back from pet plan. So, but it's just if you're not sure of the costs, don't get a dog. That's my go away from it.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. I didn't even think about talking about the vet's side of stuff in this
because you got insurance as well. Like insurance is great
Oh.
for things like the teeth clean and all that sort of stuff. Any sort of small operations or whatever. But when it comes to big operations, there's a lot of money you have to outlay just for the vet bills, and then you do get a bit back from insurance. But if the insurance is manageable, great. But you make sure that you can afford the shittest possible vet bill. Otherwise, you're going to have to get rid of your dog.
It'll happen at the same time as every other bill falling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and it
absolute garbage.
Sure. Because it is expensive. Mine, one of their last fights I had, and that's what was the last thing. One of the dog's canines came out to the side, and so it was just hanging out. My cousin's a vet, and we took it down to that.
Mates rates.
Yeah, well, it was mates rates, and it was still 600 plus.
Damn.
That's mates rates. So yeah, you have to be ready and prepared for that thing. So it's not just and I think obviously RSPCA always talk about it at Christmas time. They're not just a little gift; they're forever kind of thing. So you just got to be careful of that. So, we kind of touched on this just briefly then, but thoughts on getting a new pet? So like a brand newie, like whether it's a puppy or a kitten, something larger, not a fish. They're easy, kind of thing.
If you're talking dogs, they're not like $700-800 for a new puppy anymore. They're like $7,000 or $8,000. So if you've got that sort of money and you want to go for it, go for it. You're probably going to get a lot longer out of them as well than a rescue, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, what do you think?
Big
Cam?
dollars.
I think you gotta not make life harder than it needs to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Because then you got to train them as well.
Oh, there's all of that. It's when like we said before, if your kids are old enough, have some responsibility, it's okay.
Well, they can
but
be
if they're young and you're trying to get a kid to sleep and you haven't fed your dog or walked him and it's a puppy and it's terrorizing your house, chewing on everything, you kind of like, you would be like, why did I do this to myself? And we're just talking dogs here, obviously.
Well, that's our experience.
Yeah.
Plus cats, like as I said, I've got a cat now. Loves me, super affectionate with me, but so antisocial with everyone else. People go, "Oh, you have a cat," and they've been over like about 10 times because it just disappears, kind of thing. But yeah, no, I would totally agree with that.
Yeah,
it's baby's time.
One thing that always gets us is you talk about cost of insurance or cost of even just feeding them or whatever. When we go away for holidays or even long weekends, putting them in a kennel.
Yeah.
So we found a really great place that comes to your house from another van, picks them up, takes him out to a farm somewhere. I assume that he has fun for a few days, drops him back home. But that every time adds to the cost of the holiday because you've got to factor that into it as well.
Yeah.
So if you're a family that likes to go away a lot, you've got nowhere else for it to go. Just another consideration.
Yeah. Totally agree. We've spoken about routines. Obviously, pets just goes to the side. I've got, 2 very, very busy dogs, and walking them daily just didn't happen anymore. So keep that in mind as well for everyone.
Yeah, we went from walking twice a day to... I'll be lucky if he goes, maybe once, twice a week.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad about, but ultimately, when it comes to the pecking order and kids and work and sleep...
They go down.
They have to. But that's the thing, they have to, and obviously they get put out. Like you said, Ben's yours. Totally knows how to join and didn't just, like you said, got depressed and happy and stuff like that. So needed to. You were lucky enough to have a family member there rather than rehoming and not knowing what it is. Because I think I was going to say hate. There's positives and there's negatives to it, but I dislike not having my other dog there. I really enjoyed having her there, playing and stuff like this, but I see how much better off she is with my parents. As she gets fed, so she just gets doted on. Like there's the old man, like I don't want another freaking dog. Yet literally every day out there, it's like, oh hello.
Whilst parents are exactly the same.
Here's your food for breakfast. Here's your food for
Buy
dinner.
like a barbecue chicken and shred it, like only the white meat. And it's fucking carry on.
It's crazy. Like that dog gets fed better than what I did as a kid. So yeah, look, lots to keep in mind. But I thought, you know what? Here's some things that the experts say. Benefits of children and pets. Companionship. So we spoke about it, getting home after a shit day. Older kids teaching responsibility, which is awesome. Health. So I thought this was an interesting one. Research showing that having a pet can improve a child's physical and mental health by reducing stress, improving mood, and promoting physical activity. I've also heard, and now I've got no facts on it, but sometimes obviously having animals, their immunity is a bit better off than people who don't. Obviously, we think about dogs. Dogs have no personal space, the hair, all of those particular things. So it makes sense. But
my dog licks my kids in the mouth sometimes.
Takes the food, licks the food, and then the kids eat it. So look, I've heard that. Socialization. Pets can actually help children improve their social skills by providing opportunities to interact with them and other people and pets.
Okay.
And obviously learning, so caring for a pet can provide those opportunities to learn. But then obviously there's the flip side, disadvantages. So allergies, some kids could have allergies. Injury, pets can unintentionally injure children. We spoke about cats, and I've got a story about that one in a minute. Time and expense, big one we spoke about. Responsibility is on the flip side. It can develop responsibility, but it also requires significant commitment. And may not be appropriate for all families and children. Cleanliness, pets create a mess, and odours in the home. So if you want that from your children and also an animal,
fill your boots.
Keep about it. And then again, safety. It says some pets, such as large dogs or exotic animals, so those crocodiles, those venomous snakes that we all keep around, they may pose a safety risk, But so there's some flip sides. But talking about the the extreme measures and stuff of this.
My boss has he's always had snakes. My boss at work.
Yeah.
And even when his kid was like real young, he had snakes, and they always used to get out and stuff. And I'm like, I could not even imagine the fact, like even having a snake in the house in a terrarium or whatever they're called. I couldn't even imagine having one, let alone it getting out near my freaking young kids.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like only carpet pythons, but they can still choke you out, dog.
You can't exactly sit on the couch and just cuddle them. I mean, you could, but it's a bit weird.
You're just sitting there with it draped over your shoulders.
Watching the TV, looking like Voldemort. I'm here in the guinea.
That's exactly what I think of now. But one of the extreme cases, obviously, that I had heard about, cats. And we know cats like to sit around, and this is stories of being careful with cats with newborns because they like to jump in the cot. Lucky enough, ours didn't. But someone obviously was so concerned about it, they built a whole, so they converted either the side of the house or their backyard into a total cat enclosure. So the cat couldn't get out of the house or the yard rather, but also then wouldn't come inside because of the fear of them stressing about the cat jumping in the cot with the baby and potentially smothering it and stuff like that. So, there is those extreme cases of, particular things.
Yeah,
Certainly
wow.
an adjustment when you when you're
course it
bringing
is.
kids home. That's an adjustment, let alone into a home that's already got an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We heard that a good thing to do is to bring home clothes from your wife and your baby
At the
when they've
hospital.
had the baby at the hospital.
Yeah.
And we did that, and if anyone who's done it knows that the dogs go.
Yeah.
They go crazy and they sniff and sniff and they're so excited. And then when you bring them home, they're meant to be a bit more ready for it because
Yeah.
they've smelt them. I don't know if it works. We did it. Seems to have been fine. And the main thing he was concerned about was the high-pitched crying.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
kind of really rolled him up. Yeah.
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 More just from a concern point of view.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now third
That's
baby,
good.
he's deaf and he just doesn't give a shit. I don't even think he knows we have a third one.
It's just oblivious.
Yeah.
Yeah. We chucked out to listeners. Got a couple of good ones here. One I liked here was the dogs haven't had a proper wash in 6 years. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Since having kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get that. Yeah. No, washing dogs. Don't we just put them out in the rain?
Like, yeah. Easiest way. Just
Exactly.
garden hose them.
Yeah. Well, that too.
Put them in the trampoline.
Oh yeah, they can't get out.
They can't get out. Put the hose underneath or the sprinkler.
Oh, that's good. I haven't used that one, but I might. That's a good dad hack.
Put some bloody soap on it so that when they roll around or slip over, they're just getting a bit of a wash as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's unreal. And the other one, for ASD kids, chickens are the best. They said here, you can hug them, but you can also love them from a distance. So whatever you need. And they're much more low maintenance than a dog or cat if the kids don't take them or take to them.
Nothing like a stinky bird in your house, eh? The
Not
best
to-
part would
I
be the
don't know.
eggs.
Are
I'd be
you
smashing eggs for days.
Yeah.
You're talking, I don't think the chicken comes inside. It could do. Look, don't get me wrong.
It's
I'm sure
not
it
that
could.
that hard to set up a little chicken coop
Yeah.
out the back now.
Yeah.
My sister's got one.
Oh, really?
They got 5 or 6 chickens. They get
Oh, really?
heaps of eggs. They
Really?
love it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's cool. They're on a bit. Are they on a bit of space? out
Yeah,
there?
yeah, they've got a good little corner of the house that the yard they can put them in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
They
that's
actually
cool.
had a random chicken just arrive out of nowhere,
Oh, wow.
and they just opened the cage and it went in and it's just in there now.
Perfect.
yeah,
Free chickens.
they're attracting chickens.
Yeah,
as well.
nice.
Oh, how awesome.
Then you can get yourself a free carpet python that they attract.
They do, and that's probably down for the
It's the only reason I haven't got it.
Yeah, they come with a few rats.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Rats outside. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I guess that's it, guys, from us with our topics of kids and pets.
Sounds good.
Some mixed emotions, I think, or mixed experiences.
I think the takeaway should be think about your own situation. Like if you're a busy worker, you've got kids that are pretty high maintenance, I wouldn't be looking at a dog. Or if you've got something like if you can't afford the big things, it's probably not the best idea, even if it is a rescue, because they still cost money when it comes
Also
to getting
do.
sick. But if your kids are a bit older and they can actually look after the pets themselves and create that sense of responsibility, might be for you.
But if your partner gets stressed about things easily as well, maybe don't add a pet to the mix if you've got
Yeah.
a baby. So.
Or just get them on some sort of medication.
Which one, the pet or the
Yeah,
missus?
the missus.
Oh, that's good. Awesome, boys. Thanks very much for that chat.
All right, time for some trivia. Do you know stuff? Time for Dad Trivia, where we learn all about the life of Dad by learning stuff you never thought you needed to know. This week's theme is animal dads. Once again, keeping it on theme. Right, I got a couple of animals here. You have to guess true or false. Basically, these animals are either good dads or bad dads.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I've got the timer ready. We're good.
Okay. I got 8.
All right.
Penguins.
Good dad.
They're good. They're great dads.
Yep.
They look after the babies for ages, don't they?
They sit on the egg while the mum goes out and hunts.
Yep.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Mums
as long
are
as 2 months, they're just standing on an egg, not eating.
They're actually the mums are the alphas of that relationship.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right, the next one. Water bugs.
Fuck. Well, they sound shit, so let's just go with shit.
Shit.
Wrong.
Oh,
They ensure the safety of their young by carrying them on their backs 150 eggs. I've got a picture right here for you.
Please show. Oh, what the hell? Oh,
Good dad.
Yep, good dad. 150 eggs on the back and just protects them while once again the misso's out with the girls.
bet you once those eggs are done, then he's just out. He's just leaving 150 kids just. See ya.
He's sowing those wild sea oats.
All right, next one.
Yep.
Assassin bugs.
Oh,
They sound killer.
they do. But I'm going to go good.
Okay.
Wrong. It's called an assassin bug.
Yeah. So what? I thought it was just going to.
I was going with the pattern too, yeah.
Yeah.
So these bugs, they actually do protect their young after mating, but then after a while they kind of just get a bit miffed. They start eating them, they stop looking after them, and they abandon them. So
Big dog got to eat.
Must
All
be
right.
tough for the assassin bug.
all right, I reckon maybe one more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
The sandy gobby fish.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
These guys are dogs.
Yeah, I bet. They sound grubby as.
Yeah. Once again, it's a bit of a theme here. They look after eggs. After a while, they start to eat them because basically they realize that the less eggs there are to look after, the less work they have to do. So they just start eating
They're
them.
pretty smart
Oh,
too.
so they
Yeah.
become-
Cool. Righto, boys.
Clever.
It's time to ask AI for some fatherhood gold because we all know robots are in on taking our jobs. So now it's time for this. Meep morp zeep zorb.
100111100 Skynet.
Chat DAD. All right, this week on Chat DAD, we're talking about taking care of a pet with kids. It can be a great way to teach your children about responsibility, empathy, and patience. So I've obviously asked Chat DAD for some dad advice when it comes to looking after pets with kids. And I'm going to give you 4. Consider your lifestyle, space, and budget before choosing a pet. That's basically the crux of our entire conversation. Teach them how to properly feed, groom, and exercise their pet. Pretty standard. Make sure your children have a set routine for taking care of the pet. Good for time management, maybe. Don't know. Make sure your children understand the boundaries and rules for interacting with their pet. This includes not pulling or hitting their pet and giving their pet enough space when it needs it. Don't put things up their butts either.
Unless they're fighting.
Yeah, well,
And then they're meant to release.
Oh, there you go.
yeah, that's true.
Well, the kids
That's
or
something
the
with
dogs?
the dogs. Yeah, if you ran
Yeah, they reckon.
supposed to. Yeah. Not having tried it because I haven't had a Rottweiler, but anyway, so the hitting, we didn't really address the hitting the pet, hitting or pulling hair or not giving it enough space because that can actually make them a bit aggravated. So that's what may lead to bites, especially with dogs. I don't know about cats. Cats are the worst, but
Nah, cats. Just ask my 1-year-old.
Cat.
She just absolutely loves it. Absolutely loves the cat. Like, we'll wake up in the morning. It gets more attention than me.
Yeah.
I walk past it and just sees it and starts waving like, and waving, and then goes down next to it and now puts its head down, like a giving it a hug.
yeah, nice.
Puts its head down next to it, but then goes pat, pat, and then just goes, and then the cat just reacts and just goes, and
Oh yeah,
then next minute it's like delayed. It's like, and then just
Yeah.
cries, and then you look at him like, well, you know
Yeah,
what,
you
you
sort of did
deserved
that
it.
yourself,
You
yeah.
deserved it.
learn the hard way.
Yeah.
So that was the serious part of it. I thought, yeah, it's raised some good issues, and it turns out we spoke about all of that mostly. But then I wanted to get some fun pet names. I wanted posh. I asked it for posh pet names, and because I thought it'd be funny, and then but it was like Queen for a girl and King
Oh,
for a
really?
boy, and
So not Fifi.
matriarch and all that sort. It wasn't that good, but I asked for fun pet names instead, and here's 12 of your best: Meowley Cyrus. Chewbacca, the Great Catsby, Bark Twain, William Shakespeare, Harry Potter, Fuzz Aldrin, Colonel Mustard for any yellow-coloured pet, Snoop Dogg, Sir Lix-a-Lot. Is that a Mix-a-Lot? Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay.
Cleopatra, And obviously, Old Faithful for the uncreative people, Chewy McChewface. Yeah. And I think something that we haven't addressed yet, speaking of pets and kids, is their similarities. So I've asked tdaddery some annoying habits that kids and pets have in common. And your top 8 from that category became chewing or scratching, messy eating. Have you ever seen a dog eat?
Yep.
Because they can't like rotate their jaw. It's like that's how my 6 and 8-year-old boys eat. They're noisy from the last one as well. They demand attention, messy play, disrupt sleep, run off in public, and they mark their territory.
Well, pretty accurate.
Yeah. Well, we've spoken about marking territory as like the kids as well, like drawing on arrows on the wall with pens and like doing marks, like writing their names on walls and carry on. They also piss everywhere.
Yeah.
Like kids and pets.
Yep.
And they just damage whatever they want. So yeah, tdaddery, thank you very much. You've pretty much called our kids the same as pets, which I don't disagree
So
with.
I've got 4 kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Oh, fuck. You know what we should have done? We should have gone, was this a pet or is this a kid? And just and
Nail
gone and compared it. All right, we've got to keep that in the bank. All right, boys, we're going to continue on with our book.
Cool. What letter are we up to this week?
I've just gone to the start. I've just gone A for animals. So the ABC of shit daddery, what not to do, now that I know exactly it's not what to do. Anyway, so A, I have gone for always keep learning. So
Wise.
you can beat your kids at Trivial Pursuit and watch them cry.
That's good.
Yeah.
I thought you were going the other direction with that. I'm glad you didn't.
No. Oh, no, it's shit now. What do you got, Cam?
A. Avengers Assemble. Teach your kids that when you yell Avengers Assemble, they come to you.
That's good.
Oh, that is unreal.
Oh, I'm keeping that forever. Oh,
I really want to do that.
Oh my god, my boys would totally do that too. I've gone for arguing with anyone under the age of 10 is never going to end well because they're more stubborn than your missus.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah.
I think I've gone the realist advice this week.
You
Wow.
did. Wow.
All three, fantastic dad advice.
Oh, well done. This book is looking like a masterpiece.
It's going to be good, eh?
We should keep track of what letters we've done. I'm guessing someone's doing that.
I'll probably start recording this week.
What do you mean? I had to go back through the episode notes the last 3 weeks. Because I don't keep my notes myself.
That's cool.
Anyway.
Shit dad story of the week. Best time of the week.
I love it. Any listener stories this week?
We didn't.
Come on,
Very
listeners.
quiet week in the chat.
You know where, like, everyone knows where to go to send their shit dad stories, which is great. So make sure you get in touch with the shit daddery booster yarn on Facebook, which can be got at SHT Dad Podcast on Facebook, and you can also private message us at shit dad pod on Instagram to send in your brilliant shit dad stories.
Come on.
This week, I can't remember if I mentioned it. For my birthday, I got a Switch. Nintendo
nice.
Switch.
Oh, nice.
Very good present.
I
My
like
wife's, I'm like, thank you, but fucking hell, like now I got to really like raise the bar when it comes to giving gifts because that's very good.
And
so she
expensive.
got, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You always got to go more, don't you? So she got me that and Mario Kart as the game. So I've been playing that, playing online with some mates. It's been awesome.
What's your handle? Let's get that after the game.
yeah.
I'll play
Yeah,
it.
please. I was going to say,
Hell
please
yeah.
do. Because then I've got to decide whether I get the online.
yeah. But the kids have been surprisingly good at it. So you put it on the lowest setting. I think it's 50 cc's or whatever. And I don't think they steer. They just hold down go and it kind of just steers for them.
Yeah.
Eventually they get all the bullets and they just kind of make their way to the end. But it's kind of annoying me because I thought I would like destroy them every time.
Yep.
So I slowly have been increasing to 100, 150, and then I just was like, bugger, I just put it on the 250 cc, just the fastest one possible. It didn't end well. My daughter was crying at the end. But I beat her, so,
Always keep learning. That's good. How long did the tears last for?
Not long.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, she's playing Mario Kart. So she's having a good time.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Ben?
Guys, this week I picked up a secondhand BT50. It's a dream of mine for a long time now, and I'm super excited. And I've broken my own cardinal rule within the first 3 days and let one of the kids eat a sandwich in the car. It didn't end badly. It was bad for her because I was so filthy at her for dropping it. So it was on the way home from our little sports program. Everyone was in high spirits, and she's eating her snacky stuff like popcorn and muesli bar and fruit. And I was like, she goes, Daddy, can I have my sandwich? I was like, you know what? You seem pretty coordinated today. You can have a sandwich. And there was avocado in the sandwich. There was ham and cheese. And I've handed over and I thought, oh, there's avocado in that. Nah, she's good. She's coordinated. She wasn't. Like within 15 seconds, the thing was fucking on the floor. Avocado everywhere. And I surprisingly kept my cool because there was like, it's leather seats. Like, just
wipes off.
Just a quick little snub. And anyway, I got the shits when she started getting the shits because I was just like, I'm calm. Why the fuck aren't you calm? I didn't say that. But so I've just like leant over the back. I'm going 100 on the highway as well. So I've like one hand on the steering wheel. I've like leant over the back, like scrunched up the whole lot, like scrunched it into my fist. And I've just like felt around for the lunchbox and I've just splattered it in the lunchbox. And I was like, you better eat every bite of that. And then just kept driving.
I wonder if she was shitty. She's like, you fucking touched my sandwich and scrunched it.
She'd eaten a fair bit by then, and she had the gall to like get shitty that I was driving on the highway and it made her drop her sandwich. So, whatevs. Eat your scrunchy sandwich.
Not in the new you.
No,
Come on. You're going straight at 100 kilometres.
it's got leather seats, but it's got carpet.
Come on, master.
Please,
What would you like on the floor?
leather. I want to be able to hose that fucking thing out. Get the high pressure hose in there.
Just do like a hard plastic everything.
Yeah,
It should come with a gurney.
make it for
That's
kids.
that's
Cars
a
for
good
kids.
salvage. We're going to actually do it. Yep.
How about
All
you,
right.
Dave?
Mine literally used to do with shit.
I love these.
What?
Yep, shit. So, one of these afternoons that I was talking about where I was, picking the kids up from daycare and I was just doing such a marvelous thing, cooking, doing all those wonderful things. 1-year-old was out back. 3-year-old was near the front door. So opposite ends, and I'm in the middle of the kitchen just kind of keeping an eye on it. Anyway, went outside to the 1-year-old. Next minute I hear the 3-year-old. Hey, Dad, there's a package here. I was like, crap. All right. I didn't want her near the door when people come in case they knock or whatever reason. Because we've had chats about strangers, but we haven't really gone too deep into it. Anyway, so I went, all right, come out here. Can you just watch your sister? She's just sitting on your little seesaw thing, and I'll be right back. I run at the front, grab the parcel. It was for Miss 3 for her fourth birthday, so I wanted to hide it quickly. Just grab the little card and, yeah, cool. Something else we missed. By the time I've run back out there, and I want to preface this, that Miss 4 will stop Miss 1 from doing anything anytime we ask her not to do anything. So don't touch her, just let her go. Next minute, she's trying to pick her up, all right? And she's almost over double and a half. Okay, she's almost her weight kind of thing. Like, that's just the size. Anyway, I get outside, and I'm like, oh, why is my 1-year-old just kind of tapping the ground? And then the Miss 3 sitting there saying, hey, Dad, she's playing in poo. I'm like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? She goes, yeah, she's got Ivy, the dog. Oh, she's just playing in the poo. And I'm looking at it. Thank God she didn't eat it. She just literally just gone.
Oh.
And I thought she was about it. And I'm like, like, bro, almost ran over to try to tackle. Like, what are you doing?
It's that goop stuff.
It's like, it's all my fault. But I'm like, literally, within the time that it's walked, not a very big house, to the
That's
front,
unreal.
grab it. She's got off the little seesaw thing and just got, yeah, but I'm like shitty with myself because, yes, it's my fault. But I'm shitty at my 4-year-old. Like, why did you let her fucking touch the shit?
Yeah. They
So-
double them for everything else.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
She's looking at me.
Yeah, or she's like, I'm like, why? And then I had to take her inside and carry her, trying to hold the two hands. Like, how do I wash these hands? I'm like, under the
That's
nails
right.
and all this shit. And I'm
That's
like,
good.
And then no matter what, after that, all I could smell was poo. I knew there wasn't there, but you know when you get that in your head,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is going to go down real well.
Nasty.
So I got on the front foot and told the wife before the 4-year-old did, because you know this,
Yeah,
you can
it softens
clearly-
the blow a bit, hey.
Well, it does, because you know how my 4-year-old likes to tell stories.
Yeah.
Or change things by calling
Yeah.
people fat when I didn't say it.
Extra cushion.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate, that was awesome.
No, it's not awesome planning shit.
I loved it. I enjoyed it anyway, and I'm sure it still smells. Before we finish off, or before you got to what you're getting to next, mate, I must admit that I snuck behind both of your backs with both of your wives today.
How was it?
Not disappointing. So I sent them both a message along with my wife saying, mum's the word. So I've done some research to find out what mums think we can do better. We'll obviously never be short of content. So that's
We could have another whole podcast.
yeah,
on that.
exactly. So I sent your wives a message asking for what they think you guys can do better, and myself. So Cam's wife Jess came up with her biggest gripe. She gave me a list of 3, by the way.
Quick to respond.
I took, it was dead set. I'll have a think. Like 5 minutes later, this is what pisses me off. So Cam has a really small yard, right? But he likes to mow his lawn every single week with his AirPods in, so he can't hear her yelling for help. I'm not going to say I haven't done that.
I also mow my lawn very slowly. And sometimes just go over the same bits over and over.
You do like the 3 different levels. Start really high, finish, and then go, oh, no, got to go down to level 2. Down again. Yep.
Yeah, we shouldn't advertise that we all do this. So you're not alone on that one. Trace was surprisingly speedy in her response. So I asked her at the sports program this morning, and I had to write it down because she was that quick.
Yeah, before you finish the sentence, I reckon she had about 100.
No, the first, she said I could probably give you a few, but the first one that came to her mind was Dave likes to spend half an hour on the toilet on his phone. And it was on the tip of my tongue, but I bit it. Don't we fucking all? Yeah. Because I do the exact same thing, and I'm pretty sure my wife hates it too.
Camera.
Yeah, it did.
I must be on.
Yep.
Right, so that brings me to my missus, her biggest gripe about what I could do better at home, and it is in the mornings I like to watch the English Premier League because it kicks off late over there and early over here. So I'm up at about 4 o'clock in the morning watching Premier League, and basically the kids will come downstairs. They'll all eat breakfast early. I don't like eating breakfast early, but they all eat at like 6 o'clock the minute they get downstairs. So they all have their breakfast, and then I finish watching the game, and then I sit there and have a coffee like while they're finishing ginning around and carrying on. And then the missus goes, all right, let's go upstairs. Everyone, it's time to get ready. This is school days, right? So they go upstairs, go to get ready for school. And then I decide to have my breakfast. So I'll put the coffee down and I'll make my little poached eggs or whatever it is. It's usually a hot breakfast too. And she does not like that because when I go upstairs to get ready, they're all coming down.
That's so good.
So I get an extra half hour.
Passing ships in the night.
Yeah, exactly.
You have done really well with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mum's the word, boys.
I like that. That's awesome. I did it, like you said, Cam, we could probably make a whole other podcast.
Called Mum's the word.
Yeah, it's just literally hosted by 3 average dads. Boys, I lost my camera here on the recording, so and everything. But any final last words?
If you hold down the right button as you're pressing, as you're at the start of the Mario Kart race, as soon as the second light goes green, that's when you get the boost. So that's when you can beat them at the start. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. Have you figured out the corner trick yet?
Or drifting or
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
you click and hold and,
Yeah,
and then
gotta
you get the
drift.
boost and then
Yeah, yeah.
off you go.
Oh, I got to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to pull my things together.
That's how you beat your kids.
I'm going to severely dampen the mood here. But yeah, so I just want everyone to spare a thought this week for the firefighter who lost their life last week in the fire. Everyone deserves to go home from work, and some things can change your life so quickly and your family's life. So to all our emergency service listeners out there, you see a lot of stuff that not every punter sees, and not anyone should see. So if you're not feeling normal after any sort of trauma you've experienced, obviously seek help as soon as you can. Whether it's a yarn with a mate or a chat with a GP, it's okay not to feel okay, but you obviously need to do something about it because it might eat you up inside. That's my final thought for this week. Sorry for bringing the mood down, but I think it needed to be said.
No, mate, I think it's spot on, and I don't think we need to say anything else, Lance. So everyone, thanks for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful week. See ya.
See you later. Whether you came for some dad advice, a laugh, or some dad hacks, we thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen.
Please get involved on our socials at ShitDadPod on Instagram and TikTok, or ShitDad Podcast on Facebook, and of course the share line 07 30 40 95 45.
And support the guys who keep us rolling. Black Property Group and Anytime Fitness Griffin. Add value to your house with your dad bod out.
And don't forget, whether you're here for your kids daily or not, be present wherever you can, because we're all in the same boat when it comes to fatherhood for the kids.